Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency?
Sterbliche?
Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reid, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Oh, wollen wir Vampirkinder machen?
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins.
Ih,
I need new blood.
okay.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Ist ja gut. Ich weiß es ja nicht, ob du, keine
I'm
Ahnung,
assuming you
Vampir
must be a
bist.
patient here. Am
Musst
I
du es nicht
right, Miss
erkennen?
Howcroft?
It's only a cover to hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I
Die ist
want.
gruselig.
As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Ja.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Die macht mir Angst. Wir kümmern uns um sie.
The staff here
Ganz
are not your
bestimmt.
enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Ja, alles klar. Aber wir
Who
kriegen
are you
Aufgaben, ist
really,
auch gut.
Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal?
Hey, hör auf uns zu
What do you
beleidigen.
require? Proof of my powers?
I'm
Yeah?
curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it's such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Ja, ich weiß jetzt nicht, ob ich da glauben soll oder nicht. Vielleicht ist sie wirklich nur wahnsinnig. Oder sie ist
I'll leave
tatsächlich
you,
ein Vampir.
Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Ja, Herrin der Dunkelheit. Das passt ja super. Soll ich sie aussaugen? Kriege ich immerhin 1200? Nein. Ich würde eigentlich noch mit den anderen auch quatschen. Aber gut, ich habe jetzt irgendwas, einen Ladebildschirm. Hallo? Ich sehe nichts.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reid, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Dann geh zu deinen Schäfchen. Soll ich dir die vorzählen? Ein Schäfchen, 2 Schäfchen. Ja, der war jetzt echt schlecht, ich weiß. Ihr Leben in London. Oha. Sie waren in Williams Bishops Versteck. Fangen wir einfach
How
damit
did
an.
you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Warum hat er sie entführt?
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Ach, die hier. What?
You dared to enter this awful place alone.
Also ist sie doch ein
You're a
Vampir?
hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reid. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Okay.
What is the general situation in the East End, Docs?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers' trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Okay. Über Tom Watts.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Okay. Korruption.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Okay. Oh, ich kann ihn mehr fragen.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Okay.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Er hat also keine Freunde, das heißt, dass ihn keiner vermissen wird. Ah, okay, das ist dann eine gute Nachricht. Dann haben wir sein Blut safe. Nein, Spaß.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking.
Ich mach nur Scherze,
I feel
ne?
exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Okay.
Goodbye,
Auf
Mr.
Wiedersehen.
Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Ja. Wenn ich besser bin. Ich brauche Stufe 6, dass ich ihn
I
essen
cannot
kann.
enter.
Trinken meine ich. Ich mein trinken. Was mit dem hier?
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reid. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars. If you get my
Oh,
drift.
ja, ich verstehe, was du meinst.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Ach je.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Oh Mann, ey, das tut mir ein bisschen leid, ne?
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense.
Kann ich verstehen.
I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Oh. Sie lassen sich von ihr beißen? Das ist schon krass.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
The fuck?
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Ach, herrje.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Ich erlöse dich bald, mein Freund. Und wir kriegen auch EP durchs Quatschen. Das finde ich auch ziemlich gut. Wollen wir gehen? Thelma? Oh, hier sind so viele Gespräche. Es tut mir leid, wenn es euch gerade zu viel ist. Aber es ist wichtig.
My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm
Pippa.
Dr. Jonathan Reid. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Reißen Sie sich zusammen. Die spanische Grippe wird nicht ewig andauern. Ja,
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
ja, ist halt schwierig. Das ist wirklich
How
schwierig.
is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Okay.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Ja, das habe ich schon gemerkt.
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Ist ja gut. Meine Fresse.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Da will ich sie ein bisschen aufmuntern und ich sag auch noch, dass wir jetzt kein Universalgott sind, der jetzt hier alles retten kann. Und dass wir halt einfach weitermachen müssen, aber irgendwie juckt es nicht. Für was gehe ich mir denn Mühe? Doofe Kuh. So, hier kann ich nicht rein. Das sind ja die zwei, wo der Sohn sich umbringen wollte, ne? Es ist schon interessant, hier sich so mit den Leuten zu unterhalten. So lernen wir ja auch das Krankenhaus hier kennen. Ist auch ziemlich wichtig. Ich quatsche jetzt noch mit denen, dann mache ich erstmal einen Cut.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reid, yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my
Dankeschön.
arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reid. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Okay, ich kann dich nicht leiden, du wirst sterben.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reid. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
Puh.
Since your tenure in this hospital is
So ein
longer than
Arsch.
mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Oh, ist das ein Arschgesicht, ey.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reid, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Wissen ist unsere wichtigste Waffe, kein Grund, mich für ihn zu rechtfertigen.
I don't see any reason why I should justify my actions to you.
That's true, Dr. Reid. The only judge has to be yourself. The question is, are you judging yourself hard enough?
Darf ich ihn töten?
It seems you have bad memories.
Darf ich
of
ihn
your
killen,
success.
bitte?
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Ja, ist wirklich das erste Mal.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Oh, bitte nicht. Ich will mit dir nicht mehr reden. Voll Idiot. Das ist wirklich ein Arsch, ne? Na gut, ich würde sagen, mache ich hier erstmal einen kleinen Cut. Der steht schon mal auf meiner, den saug ich aus Liste. Das klingt sehr falsch. Also, ihr wisst, was ich meine. Sein Blut. Damit er hier nicht verreckt und nicht im Blutwahn kommt. Ich guck mal kurz. Wartet, ich guck noch mal kurz. 97 Gesundheitszustand. Okay. Ist bis jetzt noch nicht gesunken. Das ist sehr gut. Hier sind noch ein paar Leute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Stück. Im Krankenhaus. Die wir noch bequatschen können. Oder auch nicht. Es sind noch viel, viel mehr. Aber die sind nicht im Krankenhaus. Hier sind noch 2 unbekannte Orte. Na gut. Ich hab... Hä? Warum habe ich hier verschiedene Gesundheitszustände? 83%. Wie... hä? Das verstehe ich jetzt ehrlich gesagt nicht. Okay, keine Ahnung. Ja, wir sehen uns dann im nächsten Part. Schaltet dann wieder ein und bis dann.